get started, we're going to get our surface first because we want to get our surface ready to go. I've already sanded it as much as I wanted to because we're going to just paint it. We're going to go ahead, I've got the Waverly paint. This is ink, it's the color ink. But we're just going to paint this whole thing. So we're all painted. I painted the front and the back. Or the bottom and the top, I guess, because this is going to sit on the top. Then we're going to go ahead, I'm going to take sandpaper and just kind of want to rough it up a little. Just to make it look like so it's not brand new. Let's go ahead. This is our light. So this is actually going to sit here in the middle. And what I want to do is take that apart. We want to take this little butterfly out of here. It can be done. I'm sure I've done it on another one. But we can just cut it. Just cut its little wire. So no more butterfly. I'm going to leave this on because as soon as it activates, like it's going to want to go right away. So we're going to leave it. So I took the stake part out of, because usually it sits in here. We don't need that. It's not going in the ground. However, I don't want this to be too heavy to glue it. So we want to go ahead and we want to glue this surface down. So I'm going to go ahead with that. We're just going to use some craft glue. I think we're going to use craft glue. And I want to put some inside and on the rim of it. Try and get it to hold on here. This probably will take about an hour or so to really kind of set up. Meanwhile, as long as we don't bump it too much, we can kind of work around it. So I'll leave it like that, and hopefully we won't bump it too much. We're going to bring in, I've got these skulls. They're the shiny skulls. I don't know why I would have the shiny skulls. You know, if you know me, I'm not a big fan of shiny or sparkles for that matter. But I had these in my stash, so I want to use them. So we're going to go ahead and use them. So first things first, we want to put these guys around the base of our little light here. Let's see how many. So this is 5. This is 5, which actually doesn't look bad. I'm kind of wanting 6 though. So let's try and see if we can manipulate 6 to 1 in here to just kind of make numbers a little even here. Like even numbers. Alright, and we could totally do it. They're not going to be right up against the pole, which will be fine. It will be fine because it's not that big a deal. So we are going to go with 6. I'm going to go with 6, and we're just going to start by gluing them down. I am going to use craft glue, however, because if you use hot glue, it's probably going to melt them because they are foam. So, I mean, you could do it on low temp. If you were going to do it, I would recommend low temp because that's going to be your best bet for not melting them as much. A brush. This is the color Ivory in Waverly. We're just going to paint, basically kind of paint the glitter. So, we are all done and finished with our skulls. I'm going to go ahead, this one, you can tell, is the one with sparkles, and these guys are painted. I went ahead and they're painted. They are dry. So now we're going to put a second layer. We're still going to use 6. However, we're going to put it in between instead of on top of. So we're going to try and go here. And in order to do this, we are going to use some floral wire. And this is to help out with holding them together, because I'm still not using hot glue. I am using craft glue, and it's going to need some time to set up. So the floral wire is going to help us out and hold our guys in place while the glue sets up. Because I am not using hot glue, because these are foam, right? So we're just going to use our tacky glue here. I like using my tacky glue. And I'm just going to put glue on the corners, because that's the only part that's going to actually be touching the other skulls. You want to hold him in place, and I think I'm going to try I'm going to try and go like this. Alright, so I went down through the top here into this one here. So he's actually structurally very good on there. So I was going to do one on each side, but he's actually holding on there really, really well. So I'm going to leave that. We're just going to let that one go. And let's do another one. Okay, second round is done. And you can definitely see the difference between the sparkly ones and the non-sparkly ones. So again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint these, because I don't want them to be sparkly. We're just going to take our ivory paint and a smaller brush, and we're just going to paint away. Second coat, they look good. Again, this is the sparkly and the non-sparkly. Makes a big difference. All right, I think we're going to go. Wanted to check and see what it's going to look like, because you always want to know. We're going to put our lantern piece back in here. And I'm going to put one more up here. I like that. So we're going to go one more round. Third layer is on and dry. You'll notice this white in here. I went ahead, executive decision. This was awfully shaky in here, and there was a lot of air space. So what I went ahead and I did was I had this Sculpey air dry clay. Again, it's air dry. Make sure you keep it wrapped up, because any little air at all, it instantly starts drying. Just a heads up on that. It's really quick for drying. But I shoved a whole bunch in here, in between this pole, I guess, and all the way down to the bottom. So that, I mean, it was still glued, and it's not going anywhere, but it helped to take out that little air gap that was there. And that's because I used 6. It's because I used 6 skulls instead of 5. If I would have done 5 skulls instead of 6, the skulls would have been right up against this pole here, and it wouldn't have had the gap. But because of the way I did it, because I wanted an even number instead of an odd number on it, so that's why I did that. But everything turned out good. It looks great. I feel like this part up here now is naked, and we need to do something about it, right? I was kind of toying with the fact I have all of these. We're going to have a bunch of rocks. Rocks are easy to come by. They're all over the place. But you can also buy clean, already function rocks at the Dollar Tree. I believe you can get them at like Michael's and even Walmart too, probably. So you can get rocks anywhere. you know, go for a walk on the beach or something, or by a river or something like that. Just get some rocks. Super easy. We're gonna just start compiling our little rocks in here. And see, I don't want to go super high with it, but I would like to get a little bit of height on it. Maybe I'll probably go like 2 layers, depending on how my rocks cooperate here. But I feel like 2 layers will probably work. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that. I love that. That looks great. Alright, let me actually... I'm going to take this off. I want to wrap this here, the top portion of it, with cord. So. You don't need to use hot glue for the whole time you're wrapping it around, but I'm doing for at least the top portion of it so it doesn't slide down. Like so. And then I also got this little bat that I think I might want to stick in here. So we'll stick that piece in here. And then this piece goes on top of here, but this looks so bland itself. So I want to wrap this too. Now we can't put anything on the top because this is the solar part, but we can wrap around the sides though. Okay, so that piece is all wrapped up. The last thing I want to do with this is I want to add, see how it has these gaps? I want to add Spanish moss. I'm going to add some Spanish moss to it. Not a lot, just a little bit here and there. Like that. It gives it a little bit extra. To shove some Spanish moss in there. Oh, right. Okay. We are all set. I put the Spanish moss in there. We've got cord going around the top here on this portion and here. And you can stick whatever you want in this little light thing. You don't have, I mean, you don't have to stick anything at all. I might stick my bat in there. He's still drying. So we're not going to stick it in there right now because it'll be wet. And then they'll be black inside. And we don't really want that. But I think it looks good just like this though. He's kind of rustic. He looks kind of like he might be out in like the cemetery area. I mean, that looks great. A very elegant decor from little shiny skulls. I wasn't sure quite how I was going to use those, but glad I did. Those look great. Let other people know where you saw this craft at, Purple Penguin Craft Room, and keep coming back for more. Happy crafting.